Hey guys, welcome. My name is Meyer-Hager, and today I'm going to share with you some fundamentals and principles based on science and what happens when you cut hair. So first, I just want to welcome you to my salon. Thank you for being here. So 30 minutes of your time, thank you for being here. We're going to learn so that you can earn. All right. Now, when I'm teaching you this, I know you know how to cut hair. I'm not here to teach you how to cut hair. I'm here to teach you the methods and the principles that you can instill in your path and your career, and you can be able to cut hair the same every time. All right. Now, you might make a mistake. I make mistakes all the time. Guess what? Nobody has to know. This is your experience. This is your learning process. Take it, enjoy it, embrace it. You might have a belief. That's okay. We all have beliefs. You might have bad habits. I have bad habits too. Shh, don't tell nobody. But your result is going to be your result. And that's what makes this great. Okay? So, high five to everyone being open. Mistakes, they're okay. Nobody's here today to tell us that it's a mistake. So we're really okay. Don't justify. Don't lay blame. Don't deny. Just be open to the learning process. You may love what I teach. Awesome. You might not. That's okay too. I'm not here to judge. I just need your energy. I need your readiness. I need you to embrace the resources that I'm bringing today, and let's have fun, okay? We're going to celebrate all wins. If you have a question, just raise your hand, wave. I'll see it. If I don't, post a quick chat. Let me know. I'll get to you, I promise. Next, let's just live our best life, okay? Redken wants us to live our best life. So, with that being said, again, my name is Meyer-Hager. I've been Redken Artist since 1998, and I'm here to share with you some hot tips. Okay, first, let's look at this crazy lady. Now, I'm gonna apologize. She has a little bit of a bad habit. She likes to get tattoos on her head. So, if you can see, her head is numbered. On the left side, this is called a bevel. Okay, so we like to call this bevel number 1. Then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. So if you're looking at a mirror, this is your bevel 1. Now, inside of these 8 bevels, where this is where your hair is naturally growing out of your head, okay? Inside of these bevels, there's something called planes. Not like planes, but planes as in like flat spots on the head, okay? And I know you've experienced these when you're cutting hair because everybody's head shape is different. Everybody has different heads, right? So sometimes you find a head that has a flat spot on it, more so than the flat spots that already are on everyone's head. So if I place this comb on her head, there is a flat spot. And if I rock it, there's another flat spot and another flat spot and another flat spot. These are called planes. You've probably experienced these when you're foiling. So whenever you're highlighting hair and you take a really big foil and you place it in that bevel, and then you go to highlight and then the ends pull out and you have 2 dark spots and you're really close in the middle, that's because you tried to wrap that foil over corners, okay? Those corners lie in that flat spot. So every time you rock and find a flat spot, there's corners. The head has corners all over it, and each one of these bevel lines is a corner. So you have let me show you here. You have a corner here. So you have front, right, and left-hand corners. And you have them on the back as well. Ta-da! And you have them in the middle. So see here, and on the sides, there's corners everywhere. So if we were to drape a tablecloth on this girl's head, okay, even though it's round, it would wrap, but then you're gonna see these points to where it kind of just like buckles. And those are corners. There's corners all over her head. These corners are important because when you're cutting hair, if you take a section of hair and you over direct it to the next section and you cut it, what is going to happen? Yes, you're right. That hair is going to move back over here, but it's going to be longer in the middle and shorter on the side. And sometimes what that does is it creates an unexpected outcome. A what? An unexpected outcome. So one of the most complicated haircuts you wouldn't think is a bob, okay? So in a 6-panel bob, a lot of times we don't stay inside of these bevels. We over direct, or we're cutting and we drop our elbow on one side and not on the other. And things happen, right? We have that little holiday around the ear, or we turn her to look at the mirror and she goes, oh my God, I love it. This is so great. Is it supposed to be shorter on the left? And we go, oh yeah, let me fix that. Hold on, you were, talking on your phone. She didn't even have a phone. So sometimes what that looks like is this. Pardon my back. So from the back, this looks like a pretty decent bob, right? Looks pretty, But then you go to this side and it's like, oh, it's so beautiful. Like the shape is nice. The front has this really nice curvature. And then you push it back behind her ear and it's nice. Look how beautiful that is. But then you come to this side and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it was your ear. Yeah, it was your ear. No. It wasn't her ear, honey. It was you cutting her hair outside of that bevel. Your body wasn't centered to the bevel. Your hands were probably not in the right place. Your elbows were up at one point, down at another point, and you weren't using your best friend, which is your mirror. Yeah, she's not there for you to look at yourself or for your client to talk to herself when she should be looking at you when she's talking, but she doesn't. So it's for you. It's a tool. And what the mirror does is it helps us to see, okay? It helps us to see our elevation. How are we elevating the hair? Where are we holding the hair? Now, if I'm over directing the hair, I cannot see that from my mirror. I need to be above her and to be able to see, am I over directing back or front? I can't see that from side profile with a mirror. I can't see if I'm this way or that way. Do you understand? Does that make sense? Does everybody? Okay. Yes. Okay, good. All right. Perfect. We'll move on. Okay. So in this instance, when something like this happens, okay, obviously there's a corner here. We know we've got a point right here, and they did not remove that corner. But what happened is when they got here, okay, they probably raised their elbows on this side and they slowly started cutting up, and they're losing, can you see that? They were losing where they were supposed to be. Their finger angle probably turned up instead of being horizontal in relation to the room. Maybe they started picking that hair up and turning it to be able to see under their fingers to cut it instead of cutting palm to palm. We always want to cut palm to palm. What that means is you want to cut with your scissors, whichever those are, turned up and palm to palm, okay? We always want to cut palm to palm. It's going to save your wrist and save you from getting carpal tunnel. So lots of things could be happening here. And what I see a lot whenever anybody's doing layering is that they want to pick this hair up, okay? They want to section it, and then they want to drop it and cut it. And I'm going to show you an example of that in a minute. So as you can see here, this happens a lot when cutting a bob. We don't want this to happen, right? Who wants that to happen? Pardon my back. So I'm going to bring this beautiful model up. Her hair is in a lovely, lovely, lovely sectioning. But for time restraint, I went ahead and I cut these back 4 bevels, okay? So I cut 2 through 5, okay? I cut 2 through 5 just to save some time, because this isn't normally where people have issues, right? This isn't normally where people have the problem. This is the area that you can cut straight, and it tends to do really well because you're able to keep your finger positioning in the right area. But it's when we move to the side that we start to have problems. So what I want to do is I want to walk you through the 6-panel bob. Having cut the 4 back panels, I want to incorporate these 4 panels into 2 each, and I'm going to walk you through the most complicated part of cutting a bob. Does that sound good? Awesome. If you're with me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Okay. Pardon me while I sit so that you can see me. Okay, so when you're cutting a bob, it's important that you have your mirror directly in front of you and directly in front of her. You need to be able to see where you're cutting. If you can't see where you're cutting, you need to move your body, move your positioning, make it to where you can see the mirror, okay? If your client keeps turning the chair, that's why your chair has a lock. Place your chair where you need it to be, lock the chair, that way she doesn't move, okay? You're going to need a pair of scissors, you're going to need a comb, you're going to need a water bottle. It's important that this section stay moist. If it's not, you need to re-moisten it. Now, right here, since I've already cut this back section, I'm going to comb down here. There's going to be a little point here. Don't cut the point off. The point is there because she has a what? Yes, thank you, a corner. Okay, don't cut off the corner. It's going to be okay. Leave it there, but you need to use this as your guide. So you're going to have to visually see, okay? And how you do that is using your mirror, using your comb. You're going to comb this down, making sure that your shoulders are square with your sectioning. You're at eye level with her, or she's facing your chest. You need to be able to get your scissors underneath your palm. However that is for you. Some of you are tall, some of you are short. I'm a little in between. I'm not going to say. So I'm going to comb her down with the wide section of my comb first, and then I'm going to comb her again. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm just trying to get this hair to go in the direction that I need it to. When I'm ready to cut, I want to flip my comb around to the smaller section of the teeth, and I want to comb down, and I don't have to take this whole section, okay? I can take just what my fingers can hold. And ideally, you want to hold the hair between the tip of your finger and this middle line. If you go past that, you really are grasping too much hair and you're going to lose control of your section. Not only that, you're probably going to cut yourself right here. And I'm not going to lie, I'm never going to be a hand model, okay? This hand, not ever going to be a hand model, okay? So learn from my mistakes. Comb this section down. I'm going to split it just so that I have a little bit more control. I want to be able to see that point, and I don't want to, okay, I don't want to cut that point off. I'm going to come here, raise my scissors underneath, chop, 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 comb this section down, and then I'm going to continue cut, 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 making sure that I'm staying right here. Now, as you can see, I didn't cut any hair because I wanted to show you. Now, we're going to take this section. Now, I'm going to section this section in a couple sections and show you. Could you cut this whole section in one fell swoop? Yes, you can, as long as you have control over the section. Because a lot of times, mistakes happen with bobs because we're in a hurry and we think, oh, it's just a bob, I can cut it really fast. No, slow down, okay? They're paying you good money for your time, for your education that you've had. Just enjoy the process. Allow them to enjoy the haircut. A lot of women or men are not in a hurry to get home. They came to see you, spend time with you, learn about their hair. This is a break for them. Let them enjoy it. Okay? You enjoy it too. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to section this hair. She's dried out just a little bit. So I want to apply a product that I really love called Redken One United. One United is a great cutting lotion, has 25 benefits. So I'm going to use just a smidge of this and it's going to help me to control this hair just a little bit more, smoothing out that cuticle. And when it comes time to blow dry this hair, it's really going to be beneficial because it's going to fight frizz, humidity, again, give it shine. I'm going to just take this small section and I'm going to clip it out of the way, and I'm going to show you right here. Okay, again, using the wide tooth of the comb, I'm combing down, making sure that I'm square with her body. I'm not missing any little hairs. As you work up, sometimes people's hair gets a little thinner. That's okay. This is a great time to discuss hair health and what they can use on their hair at home. So for this model today, when I prepped her, I used Redken's hair cleansing cream. I wanted to make sure that her hair was thoroughly clean, not holding on to any harmful mineral buildup or contaminants. You know, some people, they live in areas with well water, or, you know, maybe they don't have a water softener in their home, and that's okay because Redken offers hair cleansing cream, and it is a wonderful product for cleansing the hair, prepping the hair for color. Pardon my back, hair cleansing cream. This is my favorite product. Every one of my clients gets a tube of this to take home. Okay, so as you can see, I've cut this section and I have a point here too. Why would I have a point here? I could start to see that point because there's a corner here. Don't cut the point off, okay? Just trust the process. I'm gonna take this last section down, comb it with the wide section of my comb. I'm gonna give it a little smidge of One United. I love the way this product smells. And I'm going to comb this straight down. I'm ready to cut. I'm gonna flip this around, comb it. I'm gonna leave that little section out. Come here, cut. Come down again, making sure I don't cut my corner. Okay, now this section is done. I'm gonna duplicate this on the opposite side, okay? So for time restraint, do you need to see me cut this other side? Raise your hand if you do. No? Okay, perfect. Let's just move on. So we're gonna cut this section. Now this section is tricky because this is the section that lives in the front of her face. This is the section that's gonna make or break you as her hairdresser, okay? So if you don't cut this section right, there's a good probability that she's not gonna like her bob, okay? This is the section that gives us the holiday. This is the section that gives us that weird like face framing that they don't want. They want it not to be a swing bob. They want it to be an even straight bob, like a true bob. So if you cut this section wrong, dun, 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 just saying. Okay, so I'm gonna comb this section down. This section also needs a gentle dousing of One United, trying not to get that in her eye. It's like facial moisturizer, honey. That's one of the 25 benefits. Okay, so I'm gonna comb this down. Now, I don't wanna cut this right here in her face, okay? Because I wanna maintain that front corner and I wanna maintain that straight bob. If I comb this down and I cut it right here, what happens when she pushes her hair to the side? Yes, she gets that weird looking face frame that she doesn't want. If she does, great. But if she doesn't, and if she's asking for a straight classic bob, then she doesn't want that. So I'm gonna comb this straight down, okay? But then right here at the corner of her temple, okay? So if you follow down on yourself and you feel right here by your eye, you have a little divot right here, like a little bitty hole. So it's a little bit harder to find it on a doll head, but you can find it. So everybody find your little dimple right there, okay? Right below it is this other spot that you can actually put pressure and make somebody pass out. I learned that in jiu-jitsu, but we're not gonna do that today. We're gonna do this. So right here, there's a little bitty divot. Find your divot. We're gonna find our divot on her. So our section is combed straight down, flipping it around. Then we're gonna take this section, we're gonna put our finger here, push this section over to her divot, okay? Then we're gonna comb down gently, not losing that straightness that we had from the scalp. finding the divot. I'm gonna turn her so you can see. Then I'm gonna ever so gently bring this comb gently down here, combing, 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 making sure that I don't move that. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to cut this whole section. If you need to cut it in smaller increments, that's fine. Totally okay. But I can still see that I have a point here. And when I comb this down, I see my point there. When I comb it forward, I see my point there. Okay, now don't fret. You might have some little strings, some little hairs. That's okay. That's what finishing is for. That's why it's important to blow dry your clients and make sure that their hair is smooth and full and voluminous or straight, however they want it to be. And in order to achieve that, you need to have the right products. So what I styled her with today is quick blowout and big blowout. And the reason I use these two is because I want smoothness, but I want body. That's gonna be a big blowout. And it smells amazing. Next, I want heat protection. I wanna make sure that when I'm blowing out that hair or I'm flat ironing it or in the next couple of days when she's just using Redken's dry shampoo, that she does have heat protection. And that's something that I'm gonna send her home with as well. These are great for blow drying. So I have prepped a mannequin head for time restraint. We've seen how to cut this. You cut the same on the other side. And so I'm going to bring my next model up. Ta-da! Okay. Everybody say hi, Karen. All right. So this is our finished 6-panel bob. As you can see, her hair is smooth, shiny, even. So when you're done cutting a 6-panel bob, it's important that while her hair is wet, you brush it, okay? What I like to use is my favorite Sam Via paddle brush. And so you're gonna wanna brush her hair in all different directions. You're gonna wanna brush it out of that natural bevel and that natural laying place that it lays, that foundation. Brush it everywhere. And what that does is it allows the hair to forget the mold that you had it in and go back to its natural living space. And that way, when you blow it dry, it's gonna blow dry full and smooth. And the other thing you need to remember is her head is round. So I know a lot of people struggle, even at home when styling their hair, with using a round brush. That's okay. The head is round. Teach them how to use their tools and teach them how to use their head shape so that whenever they're blow drying their hair, they're wrapping that hair over the head with their blow dryer and their flat brush, okay? And they're getting that paddle brush to emulate the shape of the head. And when that hair comes back around, okay, it's gonna have fullness and it's gonna have body and it's gonna be the shape of their head. Essentially, it's what they want, is that umph. Now, yes, if they do want a little bit more of a shape, then they would need to use a round brush, okay? And if they really want a sleek, smooth, silky, straight bob, then they would want to use something like a Denman, okay? But product is most important. So she was prepped with One United, 25 wonderful benefits. I prepped her with hair cleansing cream first in her shampoo, shampooing her twice, using extreme conditioner to seal, to make that pH as tight as possible, 4.5 to 5.5, sealing that cuticle down, just making sure that I prep her for the most beautiful blow dry, so that way her bob could look its best. Not bad. She looks pretty, right? Okay, so couple tidbits. I've got about 6 more minutes and I want to share a couple more things with you. I don't want to short you on your time and I want to make sure that everybody leaves here with something, okay? Make sure that you own your education, and if there's questions that you have or something that you need, that I'm putting the ball in your court and you post in that feed and you ask your questions, because I don't want to leave with anybody having wants or desires or needs, okay? So let me grab my next model. And here she is. Okay, so this is a modification of a 6-panel bob, but what I did was I incorporated something called swelling, scooping, and straight graduation. Now, that's a long explanation. I cannot give that to you today in 30 minutes, but Redken has 2 wonderful facilities where you could go and learn all about swelling, straight, and scooping graduation. One is in New York City called The Exchange. The other one is in California called ProLab. There's classes all year long. I would like for you to look for Cut and Know Why. Cut and Know Why changed my career, changed my path and my trajectory as a hairstylist, and changed my vision in everyday hair cutting. So I want to just give you that little nugget. You know, check it out, go to redken.com and see if that's something that you can take. So this haircut, as you can see, was given some swell around the face. Okay, so she likes lots of body here. She likes all of this fullness around her face. And when you get to this back piece, she also likes fullness. Okay, so this was cut with swelling graduation. Okay. And then right here, this middle part is cut with straight graduation. And then down here at the bottom where we really wanted to scoop out this weight, and she likes to wear it a little flippy sometimes, we did scooping graduation. Okay, so I can only give you about one technique out of all of those. So my favorite is swelling. And so that's what I'm gonna share with you today. Okay, swelling graduation is whenever you take the hair, okay, and you need to hold it up at a 90 and then wrap and lay over the head, okay, making sure that you don't grab anything from this side. So I would recommend that you take a couple clips and you clip this out of the way. Okay, just protect that hair so you don't have any uh-ohs. You're gonna wanna have her body position to you. You're gonna wanna see over her, and you're gonna use your mirror just to make sure that you can see where is your elevation, where is your graduation, are you horizontal to the room, where are you standing body position wise. So I need to be standing on the opposite side that I'm cutting, okay? So I'm gonna take a diagonal parting. Now, if I take a diagonal parting, then her face frame is gonna be really soft and it's just gonna frame her face ever so nicely. If I take this section in a hard horizontal line, what do you think it's gonna look like when I wrap it over and I cut it also in a hard horizontal line? Yes, it is gonna be very blunt and choppy, okay? Yes. No, I would not want to do that to somebody with a super wide face frame. Maybe if I had someone with a very thinner face frame, that might be a look that's presentable for them. So it's important when you're cutting hair that you're looking at skin tone for color. You're looking at face shape for haircut. They come to you for your expertise. Give it to them. Make sure you understand what it is you're doing when you're delivering this haircut, okay? So you're gonna take this section, you're gonna hold it up at the 90, you're gonna wrap it over the head, making sure that you wrap it all the way, okay? Wrapping, 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 wrapping. I'm going to position my finger angle at a 45, okay? So my finger angle, I can see here, right? But it's hard to see elevation here. So elevation, I wanna make sure I'm at a 90. So I don't have a mirror in front of me, so I'm gonna use my comb and make sure that my comb is straight. Some combs sometimes have a level on them, but if you use your mirror, you'll be able to see best. That's best practices. So I'm gonna lay my comb on top, and then I'm going to take my scissors, pardon me, and I'm gonna resection this up, okay? Measure twice, cut once, right? So I'm gonna take this over here, I'm gonna step sideways, I wanna be able to cut palm to palm, and I'm going to cut, 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 cut on that 45-degree angle. So what happens when this hair comes back and I take multiple sections of this, bringing it up, wrapping it over, fingers at a 45-degree angle, okay? And I'm cutting, cut, 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 cut. When I've done this whole section, bringing it up and wrapping it over, what it creates is this beautiful, what we like to call a Jennifer Aniston face frame. I mean, she's so beautiful. So see? Yes, Karen, I know you're more beautiful than Jennifer. Okay. So, swelling is my most favorite. I use it all the time. It delivers the most even, beautiful face frame from side to side. Whenever you go to cut this side, this is going to be your guide. You're gonna wanna hold it up, snip it right here to be the same, drop that, pin it out of the way, take your diagonal 45-degree section, again, up at a 90, wrap and lay at a 90, cut at a 45-degree angle, boom. You have matching identical face frames. It's beautiful. Okay guys, that's all the time I have for today. I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. I appreciate you taking time away from your family. Redken loves you. Until next time, peace and have a blessed day.